There is another crisis in the NHS this winter that deserves parliamentary attention, and that is the government's plan to make regulatory changes to facilitate the introduction of accountable care organisations, plan for which the government has failed to provide any time for parliamentary scrutiny on the floor of this House. Accountable care organisations and accountable care systems are ideas that have been imported from America. In the US, they've involved government and private insurers, awarding large contracts to commercial providers to run and provide services. Of course, we all know the horror stories of how expensive healthcare is in the US, how those who have complex conditions find it very difficult to get insurance, and we hear stories of people with cancer being forced to sell their homes to pay for their own care. These horror stories are real, and we all have a responsibility to be on our guard against any introduction of private health insurance models here, which is why we must scrutinise these ACOs. The ACOs bring together health and social care so that there's one finite budget to provide for a specific population. Crucially, once that budget is spent, there's no extra money. They're being developed for delivery in 44 STP areas rather than for the country as a whole. It follows that an increase in demand for healthcare in one of those areas, for example as the result of an epidemic or a serious accident, then the money is taken out of that, it squeezes the rest of the system for health and social care. One of the great strengths of the NHS is that it provides one large risk pool for everyone in England to be supported within it. Why would a government committed to a national health service choose to replace one large risk pool with 44 little risk pools? It doesn't make any sense. And at the heart of the issue is the very serious matter that ACOs will be non-NHS entities. So we need some clarity from the Secretary of State, and we need him on the floor of this House to answer some serious questions. Might they be private companies? It seems logical to me that they may be, given that they've come from America as an idea, and that we know that the Secretary of State considers the American healthcare company Kaiser Permanente to be one of the best practice in integrated care. If allowed to operate, ACOs will be given multi-billion-pound health and social care budgets for 10 years or more. They will blur the boundaries between health and social care, and there is real concern that we will see an increase in the types of things people would be asked to pay for. An ACO, once established, would have control of a huge budget for an area's entire health and social care needs, and so would have a huge amount of power in terms of determining what it does and, crucially, what it does not commission. I have had a lot of correspondence from people in my constituency very concerned that the introduction of ACOs are yet another major step on the wholesale privatisation of the National Health Service. My constituents have expressed real concern that if the ACOs are set up, they will provide the means for introducing private health insurance models area by area in a way that they couldn't be able to do it on a national basis because it would be politically unacceptable. Let's have no more talk of take the politics out of the NHS. The NHS is a political entity. People to take responsibility for their decisions around the Health and Social Care Act.